I'm live. I am live on YouTube on a Saturday night. Unbelievable. In quarantine with my quarantine beard. Day 4,965 of self-imposed exile without comic books. Fun stuff. Hey, YouTube. Saturday nights, a lot of live streams going on, so we'll see if we can get anybody popping in here to say hello, maybe. And maybe we can share some screen time with some of the old folks here if they pop in here. So, comic books are back. Hey, we got somebody in the chat. I'm not sure who it is yet. Hello, viewer. Welcome, Saturday night. Gonna talk a little comics. Gonna talk a little bit of fun, a little quarantine. Rocking my quarantine beard. Perry Comics. Gotta catch the replay watching Alien 3. Perry's watching some Alien. Well, hope he's watching the director's cut of Alien 3. It's a little bit better than the other one. Hey, Perry, no problem. Go enjoy Alien 3. Got your hot Sigourney Weaver with her bald head there, looking like a dude. Dude looks like a lady. Sigourney Weaver in Alien 3 gives me the creeps. I kind of strangely sexually attracted to her. I don't know why. It's got to be that bald head, I think. All those other prisoners. It's kind of like a prison movie. It's like an alien prison movie. It's like aliens and prison. Don't drop the soap in the spaceship on the planet. But yeah, good luck, Perry. Enjoy Alien 3, which is, I think, better than Alien 4 is okay, I guess. I guess Alien 4, it had Winona Ryder in it. And yeah, she's no Sigourney, but Sigourney's in it. I remember Alien 4 had swimming aliens, so that's kind of cool when you get to the swimming aliens. So what have I been doing? Well, been doing a bunch of domestic stuff. And haven't really read much of comics, but let me tell you, this little break in comics, I think the only two comics I got has been Hellfighter Quinn and the Batman Giant. This is what was mailed to me. And I'm so freaking confused about what's coming out, what's not coming out. I just got charged like, I think, $90 for a comic haul that was supposed to be out by now, and I don't know when it's coming out. They're going to be spread out. The Discount Comic Book Service, who I'm going through now, has told me that these things are going to be coming out through June, and April is now June, and May is this, and June is this, and I'll be charged for this then. And I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I'm to the point where I'm almost thinking about just canceling all my pulls from Discount and just going to my local comic book shop when they open up. But I don't even know when that's going to be, because the one I go to is in Connecticut, which is in another state. I guess they are opening earlier than Mass, so I don't know. And then I don't even know what's coming out. So I'm just so confused. But let me tell you something. All you people not watching and will be watching in the replay. The thing that this comic book break has taught me is that even with the DC stuff coming out, and now Marvel's starting to trickle out, and they put out, both DC and Marvel's put out some digital stuff, that I miss independence the most. Even when things started coming back up and they shipped a couple books, I was still thinking, the books I want to read, they're not here. Because none of the independent stuff is out. Because it really has shown me that even though I'm a Batman junkie, Batman could go away tomorrow. And if I still had independent comic books coming out, I'd be good with it. I miss Olympia. I miss I throw Basketball ahead and some of the Joe Hill stuff, and I kind of almost consider those to be indies. But I miss Red Mother. I miss all the other titles I was getting independently from Mad Cave and from Boom Studios, from Aftershock, Backtrack. I'm missing those comics. And even when these other ones are coming out, I just haven't had the interest to go back and start reading them because I'm waiting for the independents to come out. And now I was even thinking I might just go totally digital. At least I am kind of totally digital anyways for independence. I'm still collecting Batman, Star Trek stuff, but for independent stuff, I'm pretty much full digital, and I'll probably stay that way. You know, but I've been missing those comic books, and not the stuff that's been announced from DC. The stuff I guess I'm really interested in is a long way down the road. Your Three Jokers and some of the Batman stuff, Metal probably. We're not going to start seeing that till June or July. I'm not really getting jazzed for it, but I am waiting for those independent books to start back up. So it looks like everybody's streaming here. We don't have too many people jumping in here to talk comics or movies or Alien 3 or bald-headed Sigourney Weavers. So I don't know how long we'll be on here, but I just want to pop on here and just give a little status report. So I've been helping my mom do some stuff around the house, get some stuff still. That's all still ongoing, so I haven't been live streaming all that much. And I've also jumped back into another hobby. I guess the break in comic books. I'm not sure who jumped in here just now, but the breaks in comic books, I guess. I'm also a ham radio operator. I've been a ham since 91 and really going big on it since about 2001. And, this whole pandemic thing got me back into, turning on my radios and listening to some of the stuff going on overseas and getting back out and talking to some people. I just recently talked to a gentleman in Slovenia, in Italy. And I've also been getting into some of the digital stuff now with digital radio, which is basically making contacts through the radio through the computer. So I've been getting back into that. I've been getting back into the VHF, UHF stuff, listening to some of the stuff on the bands, some of the weather stuff. So, I don't know, maybe everybody else can make a comment down below. What have you been doing in this break time when comics have kind of dried up a little bit? A lot of people have been jumping into Golden Age stuff, jumping into getting back issues, ordering back issues, reading older stuff, and knowing that maybe now they don't miss the new stuff quite as much. At least that's the way it is for me. I don't really miss DC and Marvel. I miss the independents. I can't wait for them to start back up. So we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I'm probably gonna be doing some live streams. I think on my other channel, my main channel, for ham radio stuff. I'm part of a group that I've started out. We do what we do is we go to different parks around the area. We activate those parks by setting up radios emergency style, which is basically battery power. Setting up antennas and seeing what we can get out. I've on as little as 5 watts and a piece of wire. I've talked to people overseas, no problem at all. And that's fascinating stuff. I love that stuff. So as the weather gets better and some of these parks open up and things get going a little bit more, I'll probably be doing a little bit more of that stuff. And I'm planning on doing a live stream on my other channel for this group I'm involved in that does park activations. So anybody who has the interest in ham radio or even something different, check those out. They'll be on my main channel, the one with like 20 subscribers. But it's so different that I don't want to really do that here. That's stretching what I do here. Talking about what else has been going on. I haven't really been watching too many movies or anything and TV shows. I'm finishing up on slowly finishing up on the 3rd season of Ozark, which has been good. That's been a standout show. I'm probably thinking about next jumping into Bosch, which is is in its sixth season on Amazon. I know there's some other good shows. I think tomorrow night. In fact, I got to remember to set a thing for it. Is Snowpiercer starts tomorrow night? The adaptation of the comic. I believe it was a graphic novel comic first, and then it was a movie with Chris Evans, which was a decent film. I don't have high hopes for the TV show. They've kind of switched the lead to a female, which is fine as long as it's well written. I hope they maybe flesh out that whole story a little bit more, than the movie did. We didn't get a lot of backstory. We got a little bit of backstory, so be interested to see what happens there. I think I don't think it's a long form series. I think it's something like a 3 to 6 part miniseries or limited series. TNT's track record in having some of these shows is pretty spotty. They don't generally tend to support their shows. So a lot of times they don't even finish up. But hopefully this will get a run and finish up. So that starts up tomorrow night. We have 2 people in here. I'm not sure who's in here, but anybody want to jump in and say hello in the comments? And if you want, I'll drop a link down if anybody wants to jump in here and talk. We got the news. Oh, the news! I'm so excited on this news that we're gonna be getting yet another Star Trek series from the producers of Picard. Hey, Gray Man, how you doing? What's up, Gray Man? So anybody wants to jump in here, I'm gonna drop the link here. You can drop a link, Z. Drop a link. See if we can paste the link in here. There it be. There's a link. Anybody wants to jump in here? So we're getting another Star Trek series from the people who produce Picard and Star Trek Discovery. Fuck Picard. Oh my God. That was a travesty. Travesty. And the new show is going to be called Star Trek. Not bad. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I have to admit, it's a good title. They were going to originally consider calling it Star Trek Enterprise before they actually realized there was a series called Star Trek Enterprise with Scott Bakula. So they kind of rethought that one. Well, I think we have a guest. I can kick from studio, ban from studio, or I can actually add him to the live stream.
Hey!
How you doing, Greg?
I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. It's 4 a.m. here. I've had a few beers and a couple of whiskeys, so don't expect anything sensible from me.
Vertical. It looks like you're vertical there, man. Or horizontal. What
I'm like, yeah, I'm lying on my bed, mate. I'm lying on my bed. I've got to cook. I am fully clothed though, so you've got that. You're lucky for that. I might kick off my trousers in a minute though.
Now you don't have your significant other forced laying there with you, forcing to hear the live stream, do you?
No, I'm isolating on the other side of London, and she's in South London. I'm in East London. I've not seen her for 2 months. I've got in video chat.
You guys haven't. I heard the things opening up slowly back over there, right?
Yeah, they're talking about it, but I can't say I feel particularly safe about it though. From the amount of deaths that we've had and the amount of and London is where I live is just it's like a disease waiting to happen because you're in each other's pockets all the time. London transport, going to work, you're face to face with people because the transport is so chock-a-block. So it's just I just worry that if they relax it, it's going to come straight back again. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, have you frozen? It looks like Scarpad has frozen. It might be just me doing this show, even though it's just something. It's just me and Scarpad involved anyway. I'm not sure if there's anyone's actually watching it. So if there's any live comments, maybe I've been chucked out and I'm not sure what's going on. But at the moment, it seems like it's just me chatting. Oh no! What a disaster. So anyway, this beer that I'm drinking was very cheap, £1 beer from the local supermarket. It's called. I can't even get it on the camera. To me, that's got on. What's going on? Why can't I? There it is. I was unable to compute. So it's called. I'm being kicked out. No, there I am. Amber, something or other. Amber Ale. Amber Ale. There you go. Are you back? Am I on my own? Oh no! I've hijacked Scarpad's stream, but it's luckily that I'm the only one here. So anyway, so what should everyone do today? Sub up my channel, of course. Watch all my videos. I've got plenty of videos, and be safe out there. Wash your hands. Cross your fingers crossed, and your hands washed, and don't kiss any strange people who cough or anything like that. Yeah. Be safe and enjoy your comic books if you're a comic book fan, or enjoy whatever you enjoy in life, as long as it's not to the detriment of others. Always be mindful of the thoughts and emotions and feelings of other people. And Scarpad, please don't leave me on my own. Oh, I just wanted to say, Scarpad told me that he really, really likes that new Picard show, the Star Trek Picard. He says he can't get enough of it. He absolutely loves it, and he's going to burn all his copies of the first series of Star Trek and just watch nothing but Picard from now on. And he's kind of hoping there's going to be like 3 or 4 different series of Picard. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, my copy. Well, actually, I bought one of these newfangled, brand new Microsoft Surface tablets, and a little hinky still, but the camera's good in it. So hey.
Well, rest assured that I kept your stream in good stead while you were away. I was just literally, you interrupted me as I was just telling people how much you love Picard. I was going to get rid of all of your original series of Star Trek and have nothing but Picard episodes in your private collection.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, the new show is going to be another prequel. What we need is another prequel of Star Trek. Well, everybody was saying, well, wait a minute, we're sick and tired of prequels. Let's do something that continues the show, in the future. So they did Picard. Yeah. Picard was in the future. It was horrible. I hate Picard.
Yeah.
I thought it was terrible. Badly written, not Star Trek, the whole nine. So the same producers are doing this show. So I don't hold much hope.
I didn't know there was another show. I didn't even know. No, there was another show, and it's another prequel. You say?
Yeah, it's basically what happened is on Star Trek Discovery in the second year, because the first year of Discovery was not great. So in the second year, they brought in Anson Mount and a new guy playing Spock and Captain Pike, and they brought them on Discovery, and they were the highlight of season 2. Because the cast of the show, and that's the big thing, is all the Star Trek shows, the modern Star Trek shows have had great casts. Obviously, Picard had a great cast for the most part. Discovery isn't a bad cast, but they're giving them terrible writing. And when you don't have good writing, it's all about the writing. And they don't respect what's come before. You have 50 years of Star Trek lore. So what they figure they can do is throw that all out the window and then do what they want. And they really...
It's the trouble with new writing teams. They always want to make their own way, don't they? They always want to create their own path and make their own mark on stuff that's gone before.
Right. And what I understand is that's fine. Then
to a certain extent.
Make your own show. Do your own show, create new characters, a new situation, and make your own show. But when you're in somebody
using existing characters,
and I can understand why they want to do that. Just like comic book writers.
Yeah,
these guys don't want to come in and do DC and Marvel because they've been done for 40 years, and because they can't really change them all that much. So that's why the independent guys want their own books. I can understand that. But if you're going to sign on to an existing sandbox, then you have to play in that sandbox with the sand that's in there. At least respect it, and they do. So, this show is going to have a great cast and really, but I don't hold much hope. But I'll watch it. But it's not. It's
So what's the new show called then? Are they so it's going to be called yet?
it's going to be called Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which is a good title.
Okay.
Good title.
Yeah.
They were going to, as you said, they were going to call it Star Trek Enterprise, but then they remembered we already had a show that was called that.
Yeah. So where does this one fall in the timeline then?
It falls in the same as Discovery. It's 10 years before Kirk with Picard, with Captain Pike and the Enterprise.
So it's practically the same. That kind of like seems a bit redundant to me. If you've already got a show in that period, why don't you go to a different time period, like you say, in the future?
The idea behind this is they want to get back to the roots. They want to get back to the Enterprise, the 5-year adventures of the Enterprise before and kind of redo the original series. Now,
so they could do a show with Pike, like, because he must have had a few adventures before the very first original series, couldn't they? That wasn't his first mission, was it?
Well, it was established on the original show that Spock and Pike served together for like 17 years before the other show. And
that would be a good show, the 17 years that they had together then.
But you have to have, the trouble with these new shows is they always have to have these world-ending consequences. The old shows didn't. They did episodes that were episodic. They, visited a planet. They did this. They, had a mission, and it was over with. But new shows have to have a season-long arc that's big. And I wish they would get away with that. So Star Trek was always about boldly exploring peaceably. So what's the first image they put out of this new show? The back of Pike staying on a planet with a phaser rifle. Doesn't hold much hope that he's going to be going, peaceably into that new
show. We come in peace as long as you give us all your resources and your sexy green women.
Yeah, that's true. And remember, Pike had the green woman before Kirk had the green woman. So remember that. But
once you go green.
Yeah, over here we're I think one of the last 2 states. I'm in Massachusetts that hasn't technically opened yet, hasn't really thrown open the doors. I think Monday they're going to talk about what they're going to be doing over here. But yeah, I mean, definitely in the States, they don't have a plan. Everybody's doing something their own way.
I don't think very many countries have had a really well thought out plan. Really. It's just been make it up as you go along. And I think some countries have erred on the side of caution and have been lucky with their plans, while others have been crap, like the UK always is. And we've got the highest death rate in Europe now from this disease. So, and
we're number 1 in the world other than that. So
yeah, well, considering the size of your country compared to the size of our country, you know what I mean? It makes sense. I mean, what's the percentage of the population or whatever?
They're saying 100,000 by June. So,
what worries me is when they start opening up the UK again, because I'm in London, German Central, really, where everyone's in each other's pockets, especially on the tube and the underground and British transport and that. I just think if we let people out too early, it's just going to start up again, and the figures are just going to go rocketing again.
I'm drinking, by the way, today a Molson beer, Canadian. Not
I've
great.
Heard of that one.
It's kind of like the Budweiser of Canada.
Right.
But we'll celebrate Canada tonight.
Canada.
The thing is, people are it's gonna be very hard to get people to wear a mask when it's 9 degrees out and they're on the beach. It's not happening already here, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I haven't worn a mask at all, but if the government provided me with a mask that was suitable for the job, then I would probably wear it. But yeah,
I mean the response to this has been horrible. I mean the response all over the world has been basically shut everything down for 4 months because we don't have the clue on how to deal with it. Whereas if they had planned ahead a little bit and and had done some of these things, they could have tested people and they could have gone about this, not shut everything down. But that's what they had to do because they had no other choice. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough situation, but it feels like it's been 5,695 days since since this has all started.
Well, I've not been paid, because I just got a new job, contract kind of job, and I was told I wasn't going to get any money, so I've been absolutely spending what only bit of money I had left from my savings, and just then a couple of weeks ago they told me that apparently I'm eligible for some scheme where I would get 80% of my wages. So I was like, oh yeah, result they've paid me 1 week. They pay me 1 week's wages, 80% of 1 week's wages. I've been off for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So why am I not getting them 6 week wages? I don't understand. I can't quite work out why that is. So surely I've been off for 6 weeks already, accruing rent and electric bills, gas bills, and so forth. Why am I only getting 1 week's wages now that this scheme's why are you not backing me up to the whole of the time that I'm able to work? But I don't know. I'll message him on Monday and see if I get an answer.
Yeah, they're a little bit better over here. I'm disabled, so I've been out for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But my buddy who's still working is, he's been out for the last 4 months and he is collecting unemployment. I don't know how long that lasts. I think they've extended it. And they're giving him he's making more money on unemployment now than he made when he was working because they're giving $600 more.
That's good.
A month. But, when he goes back, none of his health insurance is being paid for. So he's going to have to pay 4 or 5 months worth of health insurance, which is basically going to eat into that $600 they're giving him extra anyway. So
yeah,
as you learn in life, there's no such thing as free money.
No, give me the NHS though any day. Our NHS compared to your system, I definitely prefer my system. System. But how have you been on yourself anyway? Because I know you lost your dad, didn't you, a little while back?
Yeah, my dad passed away at the end of April.
Yeah.
I've been pretty much spend most of my time just helping my mom because it's involved when that happens. So
and also with all this isolation stuff as well, it's very kind of dark times, isn't it? So I can imagine it's really kind of makes it even worse the fact you can't have a proper funerals and that kind of thing. Because my aunt just died.
No funeral.
My aunt just died recently, and we were allowed to have 15 people at the funeral kind of thing. It's going to be next month's funeral now. But it's such a weird thing, isn't it?
Well, here they did you had to wait 6 hours after the burial before you could go to the cemetery, and then you had to only go 4 people maximum.
But yeah.
It's crazy. And then as she hasn't been going, I've been primarily doing everything for her. So
yeah,
it's a tough time, and a lot of these things that you need to get done, as far as insurance and all that, and death certificates, that's all bollocks down because so many people have passed away. They're just nuts. The whole system is strained. So
yeah.
I know I can tell you it's a lot different now. My wife passed away 10 years ago. And,
shit! Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
She had cancer and she was only 45 when she passed away.
Oh God!
I can tell you, I dealt with all that back then, and I thought slow then. It's about 5 times slower now with everything going on. But I did luck out. I was able to, when my dad went in the hospital, I was right at the tail end of them not allowing anybody to go in. So they did let me go in, see him, before he passed. And that was a scary situation, and I wasn't even in the bad area. So, because, he didn't die of that. So,
no. A lot of people have, though. A lot of people have, bloody hell. So it's scary as hell. Then my aunt never died of it either. She had cancer for ages, and she's expected to die about 7 years ago. And she just carried on holding up the middle finger to death, and then finally she was given a couple of weeks, and she died quite quickly.
Yeah, it's tough when people can't even see them. That's the hardest part.
Yeah,
It's even worse over here in the States and in the uh, nursing homes and stuff. Those things are a disaster. So
yeah.
at least I'm glad my father never had to experience any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's come out in the papers over here that apparently the policy they were sending people out of our hospitals with COVID into care homes
Right.
full of elderly, vulnerable people, and they were
Well,
just
here,
discharging them, putting them into care homes, and we've had our care homes have been wiped out almost. The amount of deaths in care homes in the UK has been absolutely astronomical. It's a bloody disgrace.
yeah, yeah, same thing. They had a soldiers' home here. They had the soldiers' home, which is a soldiers' rest home, and they lost
Yeah.
80 veterans in there in like a 3 week period. And they tried to cover it up. They didn't announce it. They never told anybody what was going on. You know, it's
So
pretty.
so bad, isn't it? Hey, can we change the subject to something good?
Yeah. Well,
Let's
I
not
was talking about
depress each
earlier
other
about
any more than we already are.
well, now we talked about comic books.
Yeah,
If you don't read anything new, you're reading everything pretty much Golden Age, Silver Age. But I was pretty much talking about how I really enjoy the independent stuff so much more now that even now that we're starting to get a trickle out of the DC
yeah,
Marvel stuff, I find myself not really interested in going back and reading a lot of that stuff. I'm a huge Batman fan, but
yeah,
even so now, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, this Batman title came out this week, but gee, I missed my 5 independent books that I've been reading because those are so much. I mean, it's so much better. But
yeah. The
I'm gonna
thing
go
is
back.
with like the Batman stories, you know that the Batman's not going to die. You kind of got the tropes already there, and you're not going to get much veering from that. But with independent books, anything can happen. Like for example, you read it like the what's the one the big one at the moment, not fucking hell, and like the new characters you've never heard of before, and then suddenly one of them dies, or the one that you think is the star of the book gets killed, or one of the main
Yeah.
people in the book is killed. So you're totally new, and it's like anything can happen. I think that's one of the good things about indies is like anything can happen in them because the characters haven't been around for 80 years and
Mhm.
have to be like protected at all times. With the superhero books, most of them have been around for so long, they're not going to die. You know, Batman's never going to die. Like he may have a back broken or whatever. It's always going to be the same kind of stuff, and characters protected. But in indie books, it's all completely fresh and brand new because like anything can happen in quite a lot of them. You know,
Well,
that's what
now,
I think.
now you get the characters die. They don't even change all that much. I mean, occasionally
Yeah,
you'll get somebody in that changes the character a little bit. Like
yeah,
Tom King did a little bit in his Batman run, and but in the end, you're still dictated by the publisher that you got to stay within this kind of range with the characters. You can't
yeah,
deviate. With the new Batman books coming out now, and with some of the guys on there, at least they're creating some newer characters, which is kind of nice. Although sometimes you wonder, like in the case of Batman, are they creating a character, Punchline and all these characters just to sell books? In her case, yeah. I mean, when you see a
yeah,
character in a book that really, after 4 or 5 issues, you could take that character out of the book, like Punchline. You could take her out of the book, and the book's not affected.
yeah.
So you know that some of these character drops are just to like sell covers, sell books, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that because they're always going to create new characters. They always have created new characters. I think it's more down to the speckers that have like made it into a big thing. I mean, because you
Mhm.
always like the comics you're always getting new characters all the time, and
Yeah.
like I suppose it's possibly a little bit cynical because everyone knows how popular Harley Quinn has become. They're
Yeah.
thinking to themselves, "Oh, maybe we should make another." But that's the whole thing, though. That the people who write the books and creating the characters are meant to be trying to get sales. So that's a perfectly viable option to get people to buy it. I
Hmm.
can't really hold it against them or think it's a bad business plan or anything like that. I don't know. I don't buy modern books anymore anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. But
Well, I think I found about mine books too. I found out during this whole layoff is the fact that
Yeah,
if you wait 3 months, you can go back and buy these things at like 80 cents to a dollar.
exactly what I've been doing. I've been picking up the new age of DC heroes. I've been picking them up for £1 each, which is like a third of what they cost in the UK.
Yeah,
And I bought a whole run of Dial H for Hero, the new Dial H for Hero run, for £1 each as well, which is like it was 40. If I'd bought all 12 issues newsstand, it probably would have been 42 quid. And I managed to pick them up for about 18
yeah,
or
exactly.
£12, something like that. Yeah.
I've been filling in my back runs of like detective this last series of detective and stuff. I wasn't buying. I didn't buy
Yeah.
a lot of Tom King stuff, so now I'm buying it for like 80 cents to a dollar. If I had spent $4 and $5 for these things,
Yeah, I know.
you
That's
just
why I had to stop. And one of the main reasons I stopped buying back in 2013, because I was looking at the amount of money I was spending on comics and like weighing it up to the amount of enjoyment I was getting out of the comics. And and I was just like, it doesn't add up anymore. It's no longer an equation which I'm happy with. The amount of money that I'm spending, you know, calculated against the amount of enjoyment I'm getting out of them,
right.
it's not adding up. So I ended up, I just completely stopped in 2013.
Yeah, I mean, most of my books have been either the Batman stuff, the Star Trek stuff, and I've been buying I like buying the True Believers Marvel stuff, especially a lot of the older 60 and 70
Yeah,
for $1. I love those books, because I
yeah.
don't have them.
So someone was saying the other day, which I thought would have been a really good idea, is just reprinting entire runs for $1 a piece. Like going back and going like Avengers from #1, $1 a piece, and like
Yeah.
people will start collecting whole runs again, even if it's reprint runs.
Mm.
I'm sure there'd be enough people who would be willing to pick them all up for $1 each.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't
there would
know. I'm wondering if they don't do
big
that.
titles.
Because speculators, they're worried about some of the that market drying up. I probably try to protect comic book shops. Let's face it, the comic book shop would rather sell an original version for 40 than $1. Though,
Yeah,
you know,
but if they got like 10 people coming in to buy them for $1, it's still money in the door. It's still.
right?
And if those people who come in to buy a few dollar comics also happen to pick up a Funko Pop or something else at the same time, it's still people in the door. It's still traffic in the shop.
Well, no, yeah,
And
but
like,
I think I've always said this is that they want to get younger kids involved in comics. $1 comic would be a way to do this. And
yeah,
you can get them back into places like pharmacies and supermarkets where they
yeah,
used to be. I remember as a kid going to the drugstore with my dad and seeing that spinner rack and getting a comic
mhm,
for a quarter and 35 cents.
yeah.
These reprints, especially would sell. I think kids nowadays who are watching the MCU movies would love to see some of the origin stuff and would.
Yeah, I can't believe Marvel haven't been able to get a whole new crop of young readers on the back of their Marvel movies. And they're not like they should have had some kind of strategy to get the people who are enjoying the movies to to be getting comics as well. Got to be some kind of strategy where they obviously the Marvel movies haven't got the same characters exactly as the comic books.
Right.
They should do a line which is like properly tied into the movie MCU. I'm surprised they're not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Marvel has a lot of their books now are kind of while they don't really have the same exact characterizations, they're closer. But you're right. I don't know why they don't do a specific MCU version of their comics. I
Yeah,
I don't know, especially when you consider they got what 14 Spider-Man books out there.
have they really got that many?
How many different Spider-Man titles do they have out? But yet they
I
can't.
don't know. I don't keep a track of the modern ones. I was going to say hello to Captain Comics. Hi, Captain Comics.
Oh,
I have
Captain
not.
Comic! I didn't even realize you were in the.
He's asking me if I've been asleep. He's asking me if I've been asleep because at 2:30 in the morning AM my time last night, I woke up. I couldn't sleep. I went to bed about 12. Woke up at 2:30, and I was in a stream of Captain Comics and D Percy. And no, I have not been asleep since then. I've been awake for 24. It's coming up to 26 hours now.
Uh,
26 hours. So
you
I was
should.
about to go to bed, and I saw you was on, and I was like, you know what? I'll join your stream as well. Why not?
You should jump on a live stream like Jigs does. Get a 70-hour live stream going.
Bloody hell. That's crazy.
But yeah, I'd love to pick up like something like Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense. I'd love a full run of those, man.
Yeah, full run of like dollar comics. Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome.
Hey, Colin UK, how you doing?
Colin UK. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well from Liverpool.
Hey, Liverpool. Nice to see you.
Nice.
How far are you from Liverpool there, Grey Man?
I don't know. I'm in London. It's 200 miles or something like that. I'm not too sure. Not too sure on the geography. It's a fair way, Liverpool, though.
It's a fair way away, yeah. Everybody's up late there in England, I guess. You said what's 2:30 there? 2:30 in the morning?
It's 4:30 now. It's 4:30 now. 4:30. Yeah.
Yeah, lately I've been going to bed early, getting up early. I've been getting up about 5 in the morning lately and going to bed, And sometimes I get up and some of you guys are still live streaming.
Yeah. My body clock is completely shot. My body clock is I'm always like whenever I get a week off or whatever, I always end up having late nights. I'm always a night owl.
Yeah.
But with not working for 6 weeks and not being called into work, it's like my body clock's all over the place. Like occasionally I'll go I might snooze in the daytime. Last night I went to bed at half 11. I just woke up bang at 2:30, and I couldn't sleep again. So it's just like, all over the place. Sometimes I've been going to bed at 3:30, waking up in the afternoon, that kind of thing. So it's just.
So what is your latest acquisition? What's the latest thing you picked up?
I picked up a few things on eBay. I've got a few Phantom Stranger. I'm trying to pick up a Phantom Stranger run.
Oh, I love that.
So I picked up a few of them modern-ish books for like really cheap, like Silencer and Curse of Brimstone, those kind of ones.
Now, do you ever get into any of the older DC horror titles like House of Mystery and all that?
Yeah, I've got one or two. I've actually just won a couple of Tales of the Haunted House. I can't remember what it was now. Something on Tales of Mystery or something like that. Let me just look at my eBay account because it's open at the moment. It's in there somewhere.
Those titles.
Journey into Mystery. I've got a Journey into Mystery. I thought I had another one actually. I thought I had another.
Well, didn't Thor come out of the Journey into Mystery title?
Yeah, this is the second series of Journey into Mystery. Weird Mystery Tales is the other one that I'm bidding on.
Mm-hmm.
Weird Mystery Tales. But Journey into Mystery, the second series, the reason I sort of got into that one, because I think 2 of that series is the first appearance of the Necronomicon in Marvel Comics. And I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, and it was like the first appearance of the Necronomicon. I got the first appearance of the Necronomicon in DC Comics, which is Justice League America number 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first appearance of Felix Faust, first appearance of the Demons Free, and the first appearance of the Necronomicon. So I picked that one up. And I thought, I wonder what the first appearance in Marvel is of the Necronomicon. And it turned out to be this second Journey into Mystery run. It's got lots of cool Lovecraft stories and Robert Bloch and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying that. I was trying to get the whole run together if I can. I've got a couple of those. Hopefully, I'm going to win on eBay. So got a little bit of way to go before I finish my run. Though.
Yeah, I don't have too much winning auctions on eBay. I mean, every time I bid on something, I always get swooped in, and somebody goes in and buys a thing. So
yeah, I think you've got to know how much you want to spend on the comic. And I've now and again I find a seller who's not getting many people bidding on their stuff. It's one that I'm buying at the moment. I've bought a couple of stuff off them, and literally I've been outbid on one comic so far out of all the ones that I bid on. So I'm doing it, and they're quite low grade anyway. So.
Now, are you buying stuff off eBay mostly from over there, or do you buy from the United States at all?
No, United States, the postage is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Quite often, I'll be after a comic and I'll go on eBay and it's only sellers in the United States have actually got it available. But it's $17 for postage for a $2 book. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I'm going to have to leave you alone for a second because I've got to go, Lou.
Hey, no problem.
I'll leave you talking. You can look at my wall over there. I'm back in a minute.
There's his collection back there. Yeah, very good. We'll bring him. We'll bring him back when he comes back here. But yeah, so I don't know if anybody else has been capping. If anybody else has been buying any kind of comics, I haven't bought a whole lot. Obviously not new. I haven't bought. I bought a few. Filled in a few of my Batman Series 2 and Detective Series 2 and 3 issues because I missed a lot of Tom King stuff. So now I'm going back. If I can get them for a buck, 80 cents to a buck, I've been buying them. One thing I find funny now, if you go on Midtown, all the Detective 1000s out there, I think they did about 25 different covers of that. And they're all friggin' still available because they're all selling them for like a buck, $2. And those things were going for like $10 each. And now you can get like every single one of those Detective 1000s. I bought a bunch. I think I got like maybe 10 copies of it with the different covers because some of the covers are cool. I bought them for like $1. I would never have paid $10 for those things. I think a bunch of them were Midtown exclusives too. But, it wasn't even that good of a story, But I've been filling in. I've been filling in some of that stuff, but no, not a lot. I mean, I know I just got a notice that I think the Discount Comic Book Services took like $90 out of my account for comics. I have no idea when they're coming. I think it's sometime between now and sometime like June or something. I'll be getting them. That's the thing. I mean, I got like $90 taken out of my bank account the other day for my pull list, but they can't really tell me when the stuff's all coming. It's like you'll get it between now and August.
Wow.
So it's like I think that's my last pull list I'm pulling, and I think from here on out, I'm just going like the route we talked about. I'm just going to buy back issues.
Yeah, that's when I stopped in 2013, and I still love the superheroes and that, but it just was not viable for that space, for money, and I started in 2018. I started showing off my comics on YouTube before I even knew there was a comic book community. And I was showing them for a few months before I discovered other people were doing it as well. And looking at other people's videos, it got me back into buying stuff. But I'm like just buying stuff that I missed out on originally, or like filling in gaps in the runs, or picking up runs that I never got back in the day, kind of thing. So,
well, I'd like to see DC expand upon their digital stuff like Marvel did. I mean, you can pretty much read all Marvel stuff digitally for $10 a month.
yeah.
DC has something like that. DC has something like that, but they don't have a lot of back issues up there. If I could go up and get all this stuff from like the 60s and 70s, I'd give them $10 a month to read that because there's a lot of good stuff I'll never be able to grab. I used to love those. DC was big on those like horror comics, tales and all that type of stuff.
Loads. They've got loads of bloody different war and horror stories. DC.
I used to love those when I was a kid.
Yeah, Unexpected, Ghosts, Witching Hour, Tales of the Haunted House, House of Secrets, House of Mystery, Weird War Tales.
If I could read them digitally, I'd love to go back and see all that, but they don't have a lot of that stuff up there. It's just,
Yeah, I thought this was DC Unlimited. Is it called? Isn't it?
DC Universe, something like that.
Okay.
And they're better than they were, but they still don't have a lot of that stuff up there. And then, of course, they tried tying it to the TV and movie stuff, and I'd want a comics only service. I'm not interested in,
I thought it was all put in together, and I thought I'd heard that it was unlimited. They had all their stuff up there, but to be honest, we can't even get it in the UK. The DC Unlimited, like with the TV streaming and all that, it's not even available in the United Kingdom. So,
and now that new service HBO Max is coming out, and they're buying a lot of the stuff that was on there. So that service is going to go bye-bye anyway. So
I tell you what, it's so confusing. TV is so confusing nowadays. I thought it was confusing enough when we had 5 channels in the UK. But now you got all these different channels. You got the options of paying for. It's like I think I watched the Swamp Thing TV show on Amazon, I think, and then the Teen Titans was on Netflix, I believe, and the Doom Patrol just came out on a subsidiary channel of Amazon called Star Play that I had to sign up for. I signed up for a free 7-day trial, binge watched the Doom Patrol, and then cancelled it because I wanted it for that blinking show anyway. But literally, and all the stuff like the Flash TV show, the Green Arrow TV show, I'd watch all of them, but I haven't got a fucking clue what channel to find them on.
Well, here in the States, they're all on Netflix, all the CW stuff.
Yeah.
And all that stuff you talked about as far as Doom Patrol and stuff was on that DC Universe channel. But then you're right. Overseas, it's all spread out.
It's spread out. Like the Harley Quinn cartoon is being shown on Channel 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like.
Is it really?
Yeah, I didn't know. It was only because my housemate started watching it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that had come out." It's on Channel 4. Okay,
I enjoyed that. It's pretty. I didn't like it at first, like the first couple, but then I really got into it. I kind of enjoyed the humor. I like we were showcasing a lot of these really obscure DC characters.
I've only seen the one so far. Literally, just seen one episode. That's all. Because it's coming out weekly on Channel 4, rather than all being available in one go. You have to wait another week to get another one.
Well, they just announced that Swamp Kit thing, so that got canceled by.
It's been picked up by somebody else, isn't it?
Well, it's been picked up by CW, but it's going to be a grossly different show.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same show it was on DC Universe because CW is more aimed at teenagers and so forth.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, but to be honest, I'm just, I know a lot of people going on about, oversaturation. We've got so many movies, we've got so many TV shows. Yeah, but when we were kids, what did we have? We had bugger all, didn't we? We had if we had one TV show to do with superheroes, we're lucky. We had the Incredible Hulk. We had Wonder Woman at one time. We had Batman at one time, but they weren't all at the same time. There was all at different times, different years, weren't they? They were all free shows, I'm sure.
Yeah, but, to be honest, they were, looking back, they weren't all that great. I mean,
that was entertaining for kids, though. I enjoyed them at that age.
They were good for what they were. Yeah, I mean, I love the Incredible Hulk and stuff, but we didn't have the accurate version. Look at the Captain America movie we got in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like you say, none of them can match up to the comic books. None of the TV shows, the films, none of them can match up to the comic books and the wealth of lore and stories that have gone in on the comic books. But I've kind of reached. I'm kind of like a Zen movie watcher now. And I don't worry about things that I don't agree with what I envision, and I just completely don't worry about those bits and just concentrate on the bits that I do enjoy. And I kind of enjoy them more that way.
Marvel's being commended because, it is hard to get something like the X-Men or the whole universe. It's hard to get that on the screen. And I think for what they've done, because they took a 10, 15-year approach on building it, I think they did a pretty good job, as good as you could really do in that medium. Obviously a much better job than DC did. So, I think they've had pretty good results,
Yeah.
Now I wonder though, did they shoot their load a little bit too early? Because they did all the major characters first. Now we're coming out with stuff like the Eternals and, are those going to appeal to the audience like Iron Man?
Yeah. The thing is, Eternals is a very weird one, but then so was Guardians of the Galaxy when they brought that one out. And look how well that one did. So you just don't know. I mean, I remember reading Eternals as a kid, and I found it boring as hell. I just couldn't get on with it. I read about two or three issues that I picked up like cheap a jumble sale or something like that, and I was just like, this is like such a dry read, and so it didn't engage me at all. So I mean, they're gonna have to do a lot better to make the film any good, if I reckon.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that I think when you look at the comics, especially in the '60s and the '70s, the main building blocks of the Marvel universe were like characters that Marvel and Disney didn't own. So you weren't able to have the Fantastic Four or the Hulk or the Submariner or a lot of those characters that really figured into those stories prominently. You had to shift them around to have other characters take their place.
Yeah.
And especially my biggest regret about the Marvel universe is how the Hulk's been treated. I think the Hulk is a character that really needs a film series and didn't get it. And now he's kind of like Thor.
He's had about 3 different starts, isn't he, and never took off properly.
Well, and then he's been relegated to comic relief like Thor has been, which is a shame. Because the Hulk is more than just comic relief.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting now, though, I guess, because now you're going to see what their takes are going to be on the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. So it'll be interesting to see how that all figures into the next phase. I think no one has really done justice to the Fantastic Four, although I didn't mind the earlier films. They were okay for what they were. And the X-Men, I guess those two, more or less were okay too, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with those characters once they work them in and whether they turn out good in the Marvel universe. Who knows? So I don't know if Gray Man has fallen asleep or he's frozen. It looks like a little bit.
No, I was merely resting my eyes.
Well, almost an hour, and I'm going to jump out of here too because I got to probably hit the sack. So I'll let you get.
Okay.
So hey, it's been nice talking to you. Stay safe over there. Hopefully, you get back to work soon.
I'd rather be told to stay at home and get 80% of my pay, which they've started doing, so I can handle that.
All right. Well, good luck, and we'll probably be talking. Enjoy reading some of those comics you're picking up there. So we'll catch you later, man.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you too. Hi, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the stream. We talked about a whole bunch of different crap there between COVID and comics and movies and stuff, and that's the way it should be. So hopefully within some of the new comics coming out within the next couple of months, getting some of those independent books in, getting some of the reads. I'm looking forward to getting back a Basketful of Heads and Red Mother and some of the stuff that I'm just missing reading. So we'll see how that goes. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Remember, keep reading and keep trekking, everybody. We'll catch you later.